I'm your host, Cara Pearson, and tonight's guest is CEO of the hair care and cosmetic company Dudley Products Incorporated. We are speaking with Mr. Joe Dudley, and it's a pleasure having you as a guest on Cara Live.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
And tonight's topic is basically about you. We're going to talk about Mr. Dudley and entrepreneurship and how he started and his success. And my first question is, since the beginning, I guess, in your early life, you've overcome a lot of adversity, a speech impediment, and being labeled mentally challenged. But you obviously had strong parents who helped you overcome this and helped you build your self-esteem. What did they do or say to encourage you?
But first, I like the word you say, mentally challenged, but they would call it mentally retarded when I came up. I was labeled mentally retarded, but I was very fortunate because my mother said to me, Joe, I know you're slow, the teachers know you're slow, your friends know you're slow, that's all right. I believe slow people could rule the world because when a slow one get it, they got it. So every disadvantage is a seed equivalent advantage, so that was a plus for me.
And obviously you actually did overcome all of that because you're now.
I'm trying to get it now. I'm still a little slow, but I'm still working towards it. Yeah.
Now, in 1957, you invested $10 in a Fuller's product sales kit and began a door-to-door selling process, I think in Brooklyn, New York. Why did you decide to sell that product, and what was your experience like?
Well, the reason I couldn't find a job, nobody would give me a job. The year before I found the job, but I couldn't find a job. And I saw a guy on the street selling product house to house. And I said, how can you get started? He said, look, do you have $10? I said, yes. He told me where I could go, and I went and I got started. It was very challenging for me because I came from the country. I had a speech impediment. I stuttered. But it's one of the greatest things that ever happened to me because I started in Brooklyn, New York, and when I knock on the doors, some people would let me in, some would, and some would take me in, and they would show me how to pronounce the names of the product, which I didn't know. But it didn't bother me because I realized I would learn, and I wanted to be somebody, so that was exciting for me.
And at what point did you decide that you wanted to be an entrepreneur and sell your own products, I guess?
Well, to me, that was my own products because I own Fuller products today.
Okay.
So it was my own. But the motivating thing was when I was about 17 years old, everybody told my mother, Clara, this boy you got, Joe, will never be anybody. And my mama said to me, Joe, fool him. And but one day, about 17, my girlfriend came to me and she said, Joe, I want to get married. I was so excited, I tell you, that was one of the most exciting moments for me. And it was only a moment. And she said, but I want smart kids, and you're retarded. Boy, that's hurt me like I had never been hurt in my life. And I made up my mind that day that I was going to put something in my head. And nobody could ever take that away from me. And I went back to first grade. But let me tell you this before that. This boy that took my girlfriend away from me, he was he didn't look good.
Okay.
And I said, yeah, you're going to have some smart kids, but they're going to be ugly, too. So then I went all the way back to first grade book. I studied first grade, second grade, third grade, all the way up to 10th grade. I made up my mind that day I was going to be somebody, and nobody or nothing could ever take that away from me.
Okay.
And that was the beginning of my entrepreneurial. I just started learning, reading, and studying. I just telling the group last night, I read for 6 hours. I'm always searching to improve myself and to better myself.
Okay. And going back to, I guess, Fuller Products, the owner of Fuller was S.B. Fuller.
Yes.
And one of the giants, I guess, in African-American entrepreneurship, became your mentor. What impact did he have on you and your family?
Oh, I had tremendous impact on me. Well, Mr. Fuller was the first African-American man to be a millionaire, self-made. But I believe in this man. Even today, I follow him today. His principles he laid down, yet he's been dead over 10 years. But this man directed me, and he only had 18 months of schooling. But he was the first African-American businessman to be a successful. He was a kind man. He was very patient. He worked with me, he worked with my whole family. He worked with all of us, and we worked together. He showed me how to do things, and so Mr. Fuller was really my mentor.
Okay.
It really changed my life.
And you were saying earlier that you own, I guess, Fuller Products, so I guess Fuller merged, or you had Dudley and then you acquired Fuller?
Yeah, I acquired all the rights to Fuller Products.
Okay.
Mr. Fuller had me to come to Chicago to become his president, and I worked. He liked what I was doing, and he was just a remarkable man.
Okay, okay. And initially, I guess the products were packaged in your home by you and your family, your kids. Did they gain any of the entrepreneurship that you have or the spirit that you have in regards to that?
Yes, all of my kids. But let me tell you, when I first started manufacturing Dudley products, I started making in the kitchen stove in Greensboro, North Carolina. And what I would do, I would go out to the beauty salon and pick up old containers, and I would wash them out.
Okay.
My wife would type up the label and put the label on there. My kids would, I had two at that time, I have three now, and I would put, they would put the tops on it. And I made the product by night, and I sold it by day.
So you were actually recycling before recycling was popular.
Yes, yes. I think they copied from me, really.
Now, did your kids pursue careers with Dudley?
Oh, yes. They all of them involved. My youngest daughter is doing all the marketing stuff.
Okay.
My oldest daughter is legal. My son is financial business. My son got his master's from Northwestern.
Okay.
My daughter got her undergrad and law degree from Harvard.
Okay.
And my younger daughter got a marketing, just got an MBA from Duke and went to Wharton undergrad.
Okay,
so all of them working hard. They part of the business, and
so it's all in the family. It's still all
in the
Dudley.
family. And not only that, we have other families that's absolutely doing things. It's just not just the Dudley family. We have a family involvement, and many mothers and daughters and sons and husbands and wife, all of them involved in Dudley Products.
Okay, so I guess you look at Dudley Products as a family affair, not just your family is what you're saying.
Right, yeah.
Everybody is a part of the family.
Yes, yes, yes.
And speaking of that, you employ about how many people now?
We have nearly 400 employees.
Okay, okay. And this is in Greensboro and Kernersville?
We all over really in Greensboro, well, Kernersville, North Carolina, but we have a beauty college here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We've been having one of our first beauty colleges here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, and I understand that you have a commitment to give back to the black community. Why is this so important to you?
Well, you know, where I came from, you know, there were people that helped me, men with good books and different things. I think if you get your money from the community, you should share with it. And we have helped many kids to go to college, and we work with them. We've done a lot. I think business people have to be part of the community, and we play our part.
Okay, and changing the subject just a bit, there's been a number of black hair care companies that have been sold to majority owned companies that are not African American. And for example, Johnson Products sold their company. They're now with L'Oreal, and Soft Sheen sold, no, Proline sold to Alberto Cover, I think.
Right, you're right.
Based on these past selling trends, does Dudley ever expect to do that or sell their company out, or is it, and we just talked about it being still in the family, do you plan to stay in the family?
Well, we plan to stay in the family, yes. We have no plans. I did not start this company and work this hard to sell out. But not only are the African-American companies selling, many companies selling today. They're constantly selling the companies. It's challenge for a lot of them, but we plan to stay.
Okay. Do you plan to acquire any companies yourself?
Well, we would like to do some of that. As long as they fit in our program. We're a little unique the way we do business, but we will do things in a growth mode. We're doing things now in Brazil. We manufacture products in Brazil, and we do Africa. Just got back from China.
Okay.
So the things that we're doing to expand the way we operate.
Okay. And speaking of venturing out into other countries, how has that venture been in regards to the acceptance of your product in those particular countries?
Terrific. They love it. Japan loves Dudley products. Our products have been loved all over. I'm totally surprised myself because the way we operate, they like what we're doing, and that's been tremendous.
Okay. And going back just a minute, going back to the acquisitions of the other companies, what do you think is fueling these transactions to make these companies sell? Or why didn't they keep theirs in the family?
Well, everybody today is really compacted their company. I think some of the reason why, the biggest problem most all of us have is people. And today technology has made a tremendous difference. And today you can run a very large company at the cost of what a small company. But it's not expensive to run a large company. You can do so many other things. So that's the reason why.
Okay. And how many products does your company make or carry or produce or distribute? Because I think you guys do distribution too, right?
Yeah, we most of our own products we manufacture, distributed, but we have over 400 different products.
Okay. So this is hair and cosmetics.
Yeah, hair, cosmetics, and foot products, whatever you think of, we make, and we manufacture most of us right there in Greensboro, North Carolina.
So basically, you add beauty to the whole body.
We try very
full
hard.
body.
Yes, yes.
What is the philosophy of Dudley Products Incorporated?
What we really want to do is to empower the people that work with us, empower our customers to make the best products that we possibly can. And what we do, we pray over our products. We believe that these products will do well. These are special products. We just believe that we must first help our people, and that's including everybody.
Okay.
So
okay.
Dudley Products have a philosophy of really helping everybody to become self-sufficient, everybody to get value from what they're doing.
Okay.
And that's the stuff, the things we do.
And you've been in business a while, and you've basically had to overcome, well, not overcome, but advance with the technology age. Has the technology impacted your business at all?
Yes, it's helped us tremendous.
Okay.
I mean, we were able to do things that we could not do
Okay.
today if it wasn't for the technology. And we out front in technology in many instances when it first started, the things that we do.
And when did, I guess, this transition take place? Because I know that in the 50s and the 60s and even most of the 70s, technology really wasn't here until maybe
The
mid-80s,
the
yes.
80s,
So,
and yeah, strong in the 90s, early 90s, but you always have to constantly making change. But one of the things that we try to do, we try to empower our people.
okay.
We try to get them empowered so that they'll be able to do things. My philosophy is, let me work with people, they run the business, and I can help empower them and help them to do what they want to do.
Okay. And has your company, or have you added any additional entities that goes outside of cosmetics and hair care?
We have, but we love to stick closer to the hair care.
Okay.
We've done things, but really, we're in the hair care business and making people looking good,
Okay.
smelling good, and feeling good, and being good. So
Okay.
that's what we're doing.
Okay. And what advice would you give other entrepreneurs or other people who are trying to get in business, not necessarily hair care product business, but who wanted to start a business? What would be the first advice that you would give them?
The first thing I would do, tell them to start as small as they can. I started
Okay.
with $10.
Okay.
And maybe if I started with $20, I probably went broke.
Okay.
So take what you have and gradually grow to what you want to be. Most of us want to do very big, and we spend all our time trying to borrow money, and after we get the money, we'd be so tired until we can't go and do the business that we need to do. But another thing, I work with somebody that's work with the kind of business you like to be in and learn it.
Okay.
Tell the people, look, I really want to do business like you're doing one day, and I'm here to learn. I'm honest, and be honest with them. People will love to teach you. I enjoy teaching people. And most all entrepreneurs would love to. Now, that's the owners. Now, a lot of times, the other people are worrying about their job. I don't want nobody to take my job. But owners always like for somebody to come around that's serious-minded. Not nobody playing, but somebody serious-minded. Find a company that you enjoy, a kind of business you do. Go work for them. If you do it for free, you'll learn a lot.
So you're saying, just to sum up what you're saying, start small. Don't try to start at the top, and then because you have a long ways to fall if you start at the top, and instead of working, because I know you kind of like looking at a happy medium. And secondly, not just finding a company, but finding a mentor. Sounds like what you're saying. Also, find that person in your niche, whatever you enjoy doing.
Absolutely. A lot of times we think because we got some money, we can run a business. You need more than money. You need sense. Because if you have some money and don't have the sense to run the business, you're going to lose the money.
And you know, and you say that, and it kind of makes me think of a lot of companies here in Charlotte. I think maybe an African American business especially, which have gone under because of poor management. You're saying about sense. If you don't have the management skills to run that business, then everything else is a bust, I guess.
It is, no guessing about it. Yeah, it is a bust.
And I want to add too, and I think your website of your company has been showing up under your name, and if anybody wanted to find out additional information about your company, your products, or anything, they can feel free to check out your website. And it's at www.dudleyq.
Yeah, Q for Quality Plus. We got to put that Q in there.
Okay.
Dudley Q. Dudley Q. Yeah.
Okay. .com. And again, because I think when I typed it out, it looked kind of funny, but I'm glad you threw that in there so
Okay.
people, when they see that know that it is a Q. Again, I wanted to thank you for being here on Cara Live. It didn't give me the Q, but I think we're pretty close to running out of time. Is there anything that you wanted to add to this?
Well, I want to first thank all of my people and all my customers and all the things they've done to help support and be part of this entrepreneur experience.
Okay.
Yes.
And you were mentioning that you have a school here,
Yeah.
Dudley Products, I guess, school.
Dudley Beauty College right here, right beside Mr. McDonald's.
Right on Beatty'sford Road
Yes.
and close to that.
Yeah.
Is that the only college that you have, or do you have another one?
No, we have 8 colleges.
Okay.
Yeah.
All in North Carolina?
No, we have in Washington, D.C., Charlotte, Chicago.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
Chicago.
And we have 2 in Africa, Zimbabwe.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that particular school, and I'm speaking of the ones in Africa, produce a lot of students?
Yes, pretty much we let the government run, but there's a lot of students and a lot of people from that school, yes.
Okay, and the reason I ask, and I think when we think of hair care, and I've never been to Africa, so I'm kind of oblivious when I ask this question, but you know, I think when we think of hair care, and I'm sure that they get the same magazines that we get and the same products, but when they go to this school, they're learning the same?
They learn the same thing. We took our curriculum there, and they
Okay.
learned the curriculum that we have here.
Oh, okay.
And they're
Okay.
amazing. I mean, it's so exciting. I had a good time to sit down with President Mandela,
Oh.
and he got a chance to see some of the styles and what they did and some of the things that we've done. They were
Okay.
just shocked to see how well that we was able to turn those beautiful ladies into their hair to be looking. They didn't even know their own people when we finished with them. It was amazing. It
So
was exciting.
basically a big transformation for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this is in, I guess, when you say Mandela, then it's in South Africa.
Yes, South
Okay.
Africa, but we spent some time in Zimbabwe together.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that was
okay.
one of the greatest opportunities of my life, to be able to sit down with President Mandela. That was really an honor to me.
Okay. And again, he cued me that time for sure. It was a pleasure having you here on Cara Live. Again, we have Mr. Joe Dudley. Joe Dudley with Dudley Products Incorporated. And again, I'm Cara Pearson. You can check out his website at www.dudleyq.com, and then Q is for quality. And again, I'm Cara Pearson at caralive.com. Oh, and one more thing. I'm sorry. And I know what he's cured before. You have a book that's under your chair.
I have a book. Walking by Faith, yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm going out, and he's pointing at the book, and I don't know what he was pointing at. But again, here's the book. It's called Walking by Faith, and this is by Joe L. Dudley, and I think he's trying to get a picture of it right now. I am, I can, I will, and I like that slogan.
Okay.
And again, it says, I am, I can, I will, and it's Walking by Faith. And is this book like an autobiography of you? Or
Yes, it's about me, but it's about how I took $10 and ran to over 400 million.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it really tells you, and a lot of people's stories in here that have changed a lot. Many people read this book, and one gentleman was in prison, and he read this book, and he's out, and it was in every magazine that he built. He's a millionaire.
Really?
He gives credit to this book.
Really?
Yeah.
So
His name is Chin.
So, what's his name again?
Chin.
Chin. What's
Yeah.
his business? I'm just curious.
Okay, he opened up a barber school, and also he's in the telephone business.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
he's 29 years old.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll be to his place next week in Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee?
Yeah.
So this chronicles your success, and then you obviously had another success story came out of it.
Right.
And I guess, can you
You can
find
get it on the web.
Okay.
Just call us. Yeah.
Okay, so all the information you need about that, again, is on the website at www.dudleyq.com. And again, it was a pleasure having you here, Carol. Now that I know what he was pointing at. Again, my name is Cara Pearson, and my website is www.caralive.com. And you can email me at caralive@msn.com. Thanks again for watching Cara Live.